on the field of play. He's going to be announcing the athletes, so we're getting right into it. A very big name in the game, Jeanette Hegdustad of Norway, the 26-year-old. She is definitely the most awarded athlete here of the 8. She's got 22 World Cup medals to her name. She's a multiple world champion in actually non-Olympic events in the 300-meter rifle. Here in Cairo, she won a bronze medal at the World Championship 3 years ago, but she's yet to find herself on the top of the podium. Emily Aki of Switzerland, 17-year-old junior world championship bronze medalist 2 years ago in Changwon. Last year at the World Cup here in Cairo, she took a bronze medal, and this year she snatched the silver at the Munich World Cup. Wang Sufei of China, the 18-year-old who's yet to win the 50-meter three-position medal. She was a silver medalist at the 10-meter air rifle competition at the World Championship here just a few days ago. She's a junior world champion of last year. 4 golds this year for her in the 10-meter event. Now, back in the game, Shauna McIntosh from Great Britain, the 29-year-old. She's back after a year-long break after the Olympics. She didn't make it to the 10-meter finals, but here she is. Last moment to snatch a World Championship medal for this year. She's had quite the journey, so I'm sure she's already pleased to be in the finals. She's a 5-time World Cup winner. Last one in Baku right before the Olympics in 2024. Im Hana of Korea, the 25-year-old, 7 years ago, she was the world champion in Changwon, and that was her only final so far at the World Championship. This year in Shymkent, she won the 50-meter prone championship. Misaki Nobata of Japan, the 22-year-old. This is a chance for Japan to win their first medal at this World Championship, and this is a big thing for her as she is debuting at this World Championship in the finals. She came close to the podium at a World Cup a few times, but we'll see what she does today. Oh Si-hee, the 19-year-old of Korea Junior Asian Championship silver medalist this year in Shymkent. This is her first time at a World Championship in the senior category to be in the finals. So we have more than a few athletes debuting in the finals. Vivian Yaki, her and her sister are in the finals. From Switzerland, the 19-year-old junior world champion of 2023 in Changwon. She also won the Junior World Cup this year in Seoul, the junior European champion. So she snatched pretty much all you can in the junior category, and now she's running with the big dogs over here alongside her sister, who is 2 years younger. Have the jury members in charge, and now the Chief Range Officer, Piero Benatti. Over 700 athletes were actually competing in this World Championship. Over 70 member federations gathered here this week for this World Championship here in Cairo, Egypt. And so far, it's been an incredibly strong competition. So let's look at these qualification results. What are your thoughts, Jared?
Absolutely. It's very impressive. These women, we got Jeanette Hegdustad,
yeah,
595. That's the second one, I believe, this competition. She had that same score in elimination. It's also very cool to see Zifai Wang in this final, because not many Chinese athletes are excelling at both disciplines. So it's very cool to see that.
She is surprising us a bit here, because I did think that we were only going to see her in the 10-meter event.
Right.
And already snatching all she can this year in the 10-meter event. We weren't really seeing her at the World Cup shooting 50-meter or in the finals.
Yeah.
But here she is at the World Championship, only 18 years old. So young. Yesterday in the men's event for the 50-meter 3P, the new world champion was actually not such a big surprise, I have to say. It was the Paris Olympic gold medalist, Chinese athlete Liu Yukun, the 28-year-old. The silver medal was won by the Asian champion, actually, Arishwai Tomar, in an exciting finale. And the bronze ended up with the Frenchman Romain Affer. Today, we'll find out the new world champion in the women's event. And I'm sure they'll bring us a show just like men did.
Yes.
All right, they're setting up here for sighting shots. The coaches are right behind as well. We've got kneeling, we've got prone, we've got standing, changeover time in between. It's a really big discipline. It's something that asks more of you than any other, I would even say. You have to be your own do-it-yourself guy.
Yes. Yeah. It's more complex, right? You've got 3 positions. There's a lot more to work on. I find more to be more interesting, more captivating for myself in training, rather than just the kind of almost monotonous style that 60 shot standing is for air rifle.
But nevertheless, once we get to the finals, it all gets very, very interesting. We do have Jamie Stangram on the field of play. Jamie, wild final yesterday. We did have the favorite end up on the top of the podium in the men's event. What's the situation with the start list in the finals for the ladies today?
Hey Martina, yeah, I'm coming at you from the field of play here in Cairo, Egypt's Olympic city. The situation is that we have Korea represented twice. We have Switzerland represented twice, but not only the nation, they are representing sisters, the Yaki family. The Yaki sisters are in the house, Vivian Yaki and Emily Yaki. And I remember being at the World Cup in Seoul, where those two went all the way to the wire in the final. And it was Vivian who ended up coming out on top, winning gold. And the younger sister, Emily, taking silver. So it'll be interesting to see those two competing in their first final at a senior world championship. Actually, the younger of the two sisters, Emily, does have more senior ISSF competition experience than her older sister. You know, she's medaled actually here in Cairo at a World Cup. So that'll be interesting to see play out. I mentioned Korea. Some newish names for us, at least on the ISSF stage. Im Hannah is at her first 3 positions final at a senior international events. But actually, if you cast your minds back to 2018, she was 10-meter world champion at the World Championships in Korea. And then her teammate, Oh Se-hee, this is her first ever World Championship. Maybe a more familiar name to you, Martina. You were at the Asian Championship commentating, and she did take away silver in this event there. We actually have, in terms of ISSF events, 4 athletes in this final that have not competed in a final this year. So
That's
the 2 Koreans I mentioned, the Japanese athlete, Nobata, and also Shona McIntosh, who has been in many, many finals throughout her career, but she has taken the year off and has returned for this World Championship. We didn't see her in the 10-meter final, but she is back in the 3 positions. 9 World Cup medals to her name. 5 of them are golds from this event. But 2 names that have been permanent fixtures almost during this World Cup season, Wang Sufei and Jeanette Heg-Dustad. Dustad is the world #1. Wang Sufei, we talk more about in the 10-meter, don't we, Martina? She's actually looking for her first 3 positions medal at an international event.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jamie. I heard your cue. I will come back to you in the changeover when I send Jared over. Thank you so much. And we have the world record over here from Samrad's 469.6.
Wow.
We'll see if any of the ladies come close or maybe even over that. You never know.
That's super impressive.
From what I've heard, actually, the athletes do really like to shoot in this facility, in this final hall and qualification here in Cairo. Would you agree?
Well, it is my first time shooting in the qualification range for this match, and it was good. It was challenging, but not too challenging, so it can be fun if you let it. And I had a good time. I performed well, I think. Just barely missed it. So I liked it.
Nice. We'll see what the ladies over here have to show us, at least for this final haul. I think it's the most beautiful when it's the 50-meter finals, because then we get to see the whole hole and all that wood surrounding, which is kind of easy on the eyes.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
pretty nice to look at, I would say.
It may be dark for the athletes. It's not. There's not a whole lot of lighting on the targets, but that is congruent with the outdoor range as well.
It's a challenge for all of them, and it's the same for all. So whatever happens, we'll get to see. So we're starting with the first series of 5 in the kneeling position, and already Shauna McIntosh into a 10.6. That's the highest so far that we've seen from the ladies shoot their first shot. We still have Im and Dustad to shoot. There is Nobata. Dustad started off with a 9.8 and a nice 10.9 already.
Saying, yes.
What would you say is the lowest you are allowed to go when it comes to kneeling position?
That's hard to say. Definitely depends on the day, depends on how nervous you are in the final. Lowest to be viable for a medal, probably like a 51, you know, unless you have just some killer prone and standing, you can't fall too far behind right now. Definitely don't want to be below a 50 average after kneeling.
That was a 10.7 from McIntosh, and then into a 10.2.
Dustad recovers with a 10.8. And McIntosh is very nicely in the middle. Yeah,
she is nice over there in the second position right now.
Oh.
We have Emily Yaki hitting a 10.5. Her shots did go a little bit to the left, and maybe she did adjust her sights a bit.
A very nice series from Sehi, 52.9. Extremely good.
It's not a surprise that she's at the top of the rank right now.
No.
Not at all.
No, I don't. 52.2 from McIntosh, also very solid.
Sometimes I guess it's good to take a break. It's good to rest from everything that's happening, and she is back, and she looks very, very determined right now and stable in what's happening. Of course, we're only at the first series of 5, so there's not much to conclude right now, and we do know that the 50-meter 3 position is a long way to go. But it all comes to an end in those 5 single shots in the standing position. I like to call it the big finale, where everything happens, and it's all being built up right up until then. 0.7 of a difference between O at the top of the rank over here and McIntosh. I would say these differences are a bit big for seeing only the first round.
Yes. But again, like we were talking about, long way to go.
Yeah.
We'll see how these athletes recover. Dustad recovered from that 9.8 very nicely with a 51.7. We'll see if O can continue this pace.
She is the pro in the game, Dustad, multiple world champion so far in those non-Olympic events that are coming up after the Olympic events here at the World Championship. But she does have yet to end up on the podium. What did you see? Oh, Nobata's
a wide one from Nobata, yes. But a very nice deep one from Sehi. She continues to climb, extending her lead.
McIntosh also had a little bit of a blimp over there with a 9.3. Im out into a 9.6. Oh, something's happening.
Lots of nines.
Something's happening with Misaki Nobata, I think. I mean, the last chance, let's say, for Japan to win their medal at a World Championship. I do not think that they're represented in the 25-meter pistol women as much. So that might be a lot of pressure on her as well.
It could be.
In this final. She is also debuting at a World Championship final, so...
That is stressful in itself.
That is stressful enough.
Your first World Championship final. Absolutely. And that's where a lot of these ladies shine, because Dustad has all this experience, and this might be somewhat nerve-wracking for her, but it also could be compared to, let's say, Misaki, very relaxed.
10.5, she kind of found herself back into the center of the target.
Another fantastic series from Sehi.
Always just really, really doing a great job here today. 10.7 for a roundup on her second series of 5. 10.9 from Dustad. We just mentioned what a pro she is.
Yes.
We still have McIntosh and Yaki, Emily Yaki.
McIntosh struggled with this series a little bit.
Yeah, she did. Interesting to see two sisters in the final, a little bit of a sisterhood rivalry.
Yes, and they're very close.
While shooting the World Championship, that's not something you see every day.
No, not at all.
I do know that Shauna McIntosh also has a sister that she has her kind of a rivalry with. So let's see where we're at after 10 shots. Shauna McIntosh plummeted down, actually. She did kind of struggle with that second series of 5. She's in the 6th position, right? Only 0.1 behind Im, so they're kind of almost tied over here. But what I do want to mention is this big difference that has now appeared between the leading woman over here from Korea and our most awarded so far athlete in the 50-meter 3B, at least in this final, Dustad. I mean, if O continues on in this manner, it's going to be really, really hard to catch up with her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If she can steal her nerve and continue prone like she is in kneeling, then it's going to be extremely fun and cool to watch.
She is kind of a surprise over here. She was at the Asian Championship, but in the junior competition, she did win a silver medal. But to be for the first time at a final with the seniors and just acting so unfazed as she is right now is kind of incredible. McIntosh might be back in the game. Let's not speak too soon.
Dustad's gaining some ground on Sehi.
She is coming closer to closing that gap potentially. Maybe in this round she did hit a 10.0 right now, but I wouldn't say that that's such a bad shot in the kneeling position.
Not at all.
And it is something you would want to see if you're in the standing position. Just give me a 10.0, I'll be fine with that.
Scraping by.
10.6 from McIntosh. I'm sorry, tell me.
This is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to call it the triathlon, even though.
Yes, well, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, each position is very different. Different athletes will be better at different positions.
I feel like almost it would make more sense for, I'm just somebody on the, let's say on the outside, but it would be making sense if you start from the prone to the kneeling to the standing.
It used to be that way.
It used to be that way. Because going from prone to standing feels a little wobbly. I mean, being completely to the ground to being completely off the ground and kind of on your own, just the equipment kind of helping you there, but the target is 15 meters away, and it's just incredible what these, what you guys do.
I never shot when it was at least 50 meter internationally. I didn't shoot when it was prone kneeling standing, or right? Or is it prone standing?
Prone kneeling standing, yeah.
Right. And I feel like going from kneeling to standing might be a little weird because you don't have all the feeling in your foot.
Oh, yeah, actually. That does make sense. Thank you for clarifying that. All right, we have O still at the top, but now Dustad did kind of make a difference here.
Both Yegis had great series.
They did, and they are right next to each other by only 0.1.
Yeah, they're still neck and neck.
This one is going to be very interesting. McIntosh over here, 0.7 behind them. And then we have Im. And I have to say, Wang Sifei is over here in the 7th position. I don't know if we can expect a lot from her over here, especially we know that she was shooting mostly 10-meter events. She is only 18, and if you look at it, this is a completely different story than when you're shooting 10 meter. 10 meter is basically that last point in the 50 meter, the standing one. But all the things that you need to do in this changeover, even though when you say 7 minutes, you're like, that's a lot of time.
Right.
But it's actually, it's not at all. You have to fit sighting time into it. You have to be able to change all your equipment, adjust the sights, do everything you need to do, and sometimes things can go wrong, and then what do you do?
Absolutely. Feeling is a big part of this sport, and if you change over and maybe you forget to tighten something, or if something's not exactly where you want it, that can throw you off completely based on just how everything feels, and it can lead you down a tough spiral.
What do you think is like the optimal time to wrap up with adjusting everything?
Probably 3 minutes. You have 4 minutes left to get in position, get comfortable inside it. I find I'm comfortable with 4 minutes remaining in the changeover.
Is it comfortable in prone position? Are you comfortable?
I think you can, to the unseasoned non-shooter, nothing in this sport would be comfortable. But with having shot it for 10 years, when you get in that position that you're used to, it's very comfortable and it feels very good. And so, yeah, I would say I am comfortable when I'm shooting prone, kneeling, or standing.
I did try it once, and I did find that my left hand kind of loses feeling as well. Can that affect, again, then the standing position? Even though you do have kind of 9 minutes of changeover time, so you can gain back the feeling in your hand, I guess?
I have not noticed it affecting standing too much. By the time you're changed over and in the standing position, it's not going to feel very different. I get all the feeling back, and there's no residual static in that arm that went numb. And also, you're not quite in prone long enough to get too numb. I find. At least for myself. So it doesn't really affect standing too much.
It's not a big difference between qualification and finals. I mean, here you're shooting 3 series of 5, and you're shooting 4 series of 5.
Right.
So, yeah, you're not really spending a lot of time in each position, especially because with prone, I think you're shooting the fastest as it comes. Okay, all the ladies are in position at this point. We did saw McIntosh, and now we have one of the sisters, Yaki, over here. And I will kindly now ask you to join Jamie over there, Jared. Jamie is going to be having a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
All right, and while Jared is walking to Jamie over there, we can see the stats from Misaki Nobata, who is currently in the last position over here in the rank. She is kind of far behind Wang Sufei. And here is Dustad, the big name in the game. She won her first World Cup final 2 years ago in Doha. She's got 10 World Cup golds in her career. We'll see if she ends up on the podium once again today. Jamie, do I have you? Is Jared over there with you?
I have Jared. Yes, he is mine, Martina. Okay, hands off. He's not coming back. He's joined the announcing team now over in the field of play.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry, Martina. You're on your own now.
Oh, you're leaving me to cry.
No, he's his own man. He can make his own decision after the next couple of minutes. So, Jared, thank you for joining me here in the field of play. First of all, I know you've competed at World Cups, also other international competitions. I think this is your first World Championship, though, am I right in saying?
That is correct. This is my first World Championships.
What do you make? Now you're down here. I mean, you've spent days here at the range in general, but now you're down here on the field of play. What do you make of this finals hall?
I really like the finals hall. It's very big. It can hold a lot of people, and it looks like it would be fun to compete in.
So our 8 finalists have just all changed over from kneeling into prone. Can you talk a little bit about this changeover period? Because it might sound like a lot of time to people new to the sport, but really it's not.
Right. It's not much time at all. You have to completely change your gun to a different position. That might be butt plate, cheek piece, all the sights. You're changing the sling. Like for me, I'm doing all these things, and 7 minutes isn't a lot of time. You're rushed. Your heart rate's a little bit higher. You might be a little stressed if it's not something that you regularly train. And these ladies did a fantastic job. I think they were all shooting with 3 minutes left, which is about my limit for comfort. I typically want about 4 minutes left to sight in and get comfortable. These ladies, I think, were on that very well.
Yeah, and they need to be ready because we now have just over 30 seconds left before the first series of 5 shots in the prone gets underway. So we have officially transitioned from kneeling into prone. Jared, now you've got a decision to make. Do you want to stay here with me or do you want to go back to Martina? Your choice.
I'll go sit back down, I'll drink some water, and I'll relax.
Okay, you have, without saying it, you have chosen Martina. I am offended, but will you come back at least for the next changeover?
I will happily come back and talk to you again.
Thank you, Jared. I forgive you. Go back to Martina, your favorite. Go on, off you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. I know we're at a competition, but you don't have to make everything a competition. Come on. ISSF World Championship Rifle and Pistol standings after kneeling for the 50-meter rifle, a 3 position. Let's see it just one more time. Oh, at the top of the rank over here. Stad following her, that 1 point of a difference. Pretty big one so far. It's only been 3 series of 5. Now we're going into the prone position. What do you think is the optimal shot, Jared, now that you're back here with me? The optimal shot when it comes to prone position? Because I tend to say now, when it comes to 10-meter events, that the 10.6 is the new 10.5. So what is that 10.6 when it comes to prone position over here?
Yeah, it's going to be the same. It's going to be a 10.6. Like that's where you're going to keep, maintain, and even gain a lead if you can manage to shoot or average a 10.6 and get those 3 points every series.
Nice. We have that 10.6 from Wang. Yaki went over and above to a 10.8, but I'm still not surprised to see really, really high shots, even 10.9s, mostly when it comes to prone position. Because after this, it's every woman for herself.
That's right.
In the standing position. I mean, you want to get as much as possible and the highest scores you can right up until the standings. Do you guys see it that way as well as athletes?
Yes. There's less often that you gain a bunch of points in the standing position. It's going to be mostly prone, and thinking of scores, you probably want to be above 10 points, ideally closer to 13, 14, 15 points above at the end of prone. And Sehi is still burying them very deep and extending her lead. Yeah,
absolutely. We did see a couple there was a 10.9 from Wang, and now she's definitely switching things up. She had a 10.6, 10.9, now a 10.7. Nobata is wrapping up with a 10.6, but if you look at, she had an amazing group over here with her first 3 shots. Now she's out into a 9.9, but I don't think that's going to affect her too much since she had so many good shots.
And we've got Zifei burying them with 10.2 being her lowest, but here she comes right back up.
Oh, nice.
And Stad with a 10.9.
And McIntosh with a 10.9 as well. They shot both as their last shot in the first series of 5. A 10.9, which is a very great shot, but I would like to see it in the standings as well.
Yes.
That's when I really want to see it.
I think we'll see that from Stad. I've seen her in her qualifications. Her standing is close to her best position, if not.
I would not be surprised. Shauna McIntosh over here in the 6th position. She is 0.6 behind Im, who is following by the same difference, Vivian Yaki. And then between the sisters, still a slim difference, 0.3. And then we're getting to those bigger differences over here at the top between all Stad and Emily Yaki. When it comes to the last athlete, the last finalist, Misaki Nobata, that's a pretty big difference, and something that might be already kind of hard to overcome.
Extremely.
Because she is shooting, if we put it in the context of shooting in the finals of a world championship, it's not very likely that somebody else is going to have a mistake that's going to help her go up, especially when you know that after the first 2 series in the standing, 2 athletes are eliminated, not just 1.
Yes, especially in slings. It's going to be very hard to gain ground. She needs to really, really bury them, and it's just not looking that way right now.
10.7 from McIntosh now into a 10.3. From what I've been seeing from McIntosh since the beginning of prone, her shots are going a little bit high, and I didn't really see her adjust her sights that much. So do you think that some of the shots can go high because of the trigger pull or the nervousness, or what puts them high like this?
Yeah, it could be a number of things. It could be you're taking them high. It could be you're not quite seeing it right, which would warrant some clicking of the sights. It could be a heartbeat. It could be some tension before the shot that's throwing the shots high. And so it's hard to diagnose it from back here, but all we see is that they're a little bit high.
McIntosh into a 10.2 now. Nobata wrapping up with a 10.6. She is the one who is shooting kind of the fastest. She's the first one to wrap up every single series.
He's slowing down. Dustad is gained all the ground on her in this series so far.
Yeah, but she did go out into 9.7 and, okay, back into a 10.4. She's holding that second position. I think she's pretty comfortable in that one.
I think this is Zifei Wang's second or third 10.9 for this series.
Wow.
So she is very buried up in the middle there.
We still have our top leading athlete shooting 10.0, which definitely put her down in the rank and allowed Emily Yagi to take over
with the
lead.
53.0, and Wang with the 53.5, averaging a 10.7. Really fantastic.
17-year-old Emily Yagi is now the leading athlete here, the leading finalist of the 50-meter rifle 3 position. I did not have that in my bingo cards for this one.
Very, very cool, very exciting.
Very excited. She left her sister over there in the 5th position, Vivian Yaki over here, 0.9 behind Im, who is a half a point behind the Stadano. They are both tied, and now the situation in the lead is completely different than what we were seeing. And I have to say, it's a little bit of a surprise that there was so much changing happening in the prone position.
Right, yeah, which
usually,
is not normal. There's now 1.7 difference between 1st and 5th.
That is making it out to be a very
10.8
exciting standings, I would say. Vivian Yaki, 10.8.
From both Yakis.
Look at that. The sisters are in synergy.
Yes.
10.7 from Dustad. Nobata hitting a 10.6. She's going to have to work really, really hard, I think, to overcome this difference. It's now more than 3 points of a difference. Shauna McIntosh. She's kind of going up and down from what I've noticed mostly.
It's another great shot from Dustad, 10.9.
Dustad is on a roll over here, and she might be coming for that leading position.
Well, Yagi shot another 10.8.
Oh, yeah, she did.
So
she is not letting go.
She's answered.
She has answered. Holding.
And her sister on the other side, both Yakis, absolutely burying them.
What is happening? 10.5 from Dustad. Here is all.
Wider one from Emily.
Now into a 10.0.
10.8 from Hannah.
She's in the 5th position right now.
Wang.
0.4 of a difference only. This is going to be a pretty tight battle, I feel like. But something to expect from a finals of a world championship.
Yes, absolutely.
Wang Sufei. Let's see her last shot. She has climbed up a bit in the rank, out into a 10.0.
10.0, which puts her at 8.5 points for prone, which is almost all of her points. Her prone has brought her from 7th to 6th, but much closer.
You can tell the ladies are ready for action immediately. McIntosh, unfortunately, ended up with a 9.9. That put her in the 7th position, and not in a very favorable position to go when you know you still have the standings going.
Yes.
But if it might be her stronger suit, then things might be okay. She is only 0.3 behind Wang Sufei. But then we have this a little bit of a bigger difference, 1.5 between Wang and Oh. Leading position is really up for grabs at this point. 0.1 of a difference. It's
anybody's game.
It's anybody's game. And of course, a lot of things can change when it comes to standing position. The girls are working hard. They are pretty fast, I would say. They look kind of calm, but what's going on the inside? Can you tell us some of...
I think these ladies are focused on the changeover. The changeover, if you've practiced it enough, is pretty automatic. I mean, you shoot every day, and you're changing over ideally the same exact way, and so you don't have to think. You're just putting everything together and getting ready for standing.
You are in the finals of a world championship at this point, though. I would find myself hands shaking. But you need to be able to put the sights in the right way, and you need to be able to tighten it up in the right position. Do you find this being like, how can you train this? Because you're not really stressed when you're doing training.
Right. You try to make it as automatic as you can, and then it's just going to be experience. And so doing this in European championships, Asian championships, World Cups, leading to this point where you know what you're doing, you're relaxed as much as possible, and you're just a smooth machine attaching things, twisting knobs, and all of that.
Jamie actually pointed out yesterday, and maybe it's a controversial thing to say, but the World Championship is kind of even a little bit harder than the Olympic Championship in some way, because you do have more athletes actually coming in.
I don't think that's controversial very much, because you have, like you said, you have a wider range of skills. It's harder to make the final. There's more representation from the countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially China, with having such depth in their country.
You do not only have 2 Chinese athletes, now you can have, I don't know, 5 of them opting for the same position and the finals. And we've seen that happen in the finals of a world championship.
Absolutely.
We know what China can do, and they have been at the top of the medal table throughout all of the World Cups, now here at the World Championship. There's still a chance for India to maybe take over, potentially through the non-Olympic events. But what we're seeing from China usually is they're just at the top and making it a little bit hard for
they
everyone
have a culture
else.
for excellence.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I feel like I would be really intimidated being in the finals with Chinese athletes. Do you think that that's something athletes even think about going in?
I think it probably depends on the athlete. Depends on kind of where their head's at, where their focus is. Ideally not. Ideally, I don't want to be thinking of, oh my gosh, this person's in the final. That's so scary. It's more like, okay, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to do to the best of my ability, take good shots, under pressure, under stress, and managing that mindset is going to be very huge for these athletes, because you can be crushed by it or you can use it.
This is something I did hear from the Chinese athletes most of the time. When I do ask them if they are maybe intimidated by somebody else being in the finals, they're like, no, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and that's it. Okay, thank you, Jared. I think Jamie is ready for you, so you can go over there. I'm going to stay over here for a minute until Jared walks up to Jamie over there. We'll still have around 5 more minutes, which I think is pretty good for the ladies. They have found themselves in sighting time already, and that can be helpful to get into position and into the center of the target as quick as possible, then have a few shots before we go into that last part of the finals. Jamie, do I have you over here? Jamie's at the field of play with Jared.
Hey, Martina. Yes, Jared, you chose well. You chose to come back even. Let's see if I can keep you this time, I guess. So we have around about 4 minutes and 10 seconds left of this preparation, the sighting time period for the standing. All athletes are ready. The sighting shots, I think, have begun. Jared, what are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing these athletes, they're focused, they're ready, and their changeovers were smooth, and now they just need to relax, find a good position, and take good shots.
And what about this finals so far? We saw some incredible scores during those prone series. Are you surprised by the level of skill and the competition that we're seeing here?
I'm not so surprised. You know, these women are in this final for a reason. We had some great prone scores from Zifei Wang of China, 8.5 points. That's excellent. And then Dustad claimed the lead again with a 53.2 on her last series, which is incredible.
And we spoke about the finals hall earlier from a kind of competition point of view, but now you're here, you're facing the spectators. There are a lot of seats here. It's a big finals hall. I don't know, maybe 300, 400 seats. The music is playing. The cameras are everywhere, you know, video cameras, old-fashioned photo cameras. They still exist. Do you think that's how much of an impact, how much of an influence do you think that is for the athletes out there, some of which are at their first ever World Championship with all of this extra attention? Do you think it gets into their heads at all, or is this something that in your minds when you're training, you also try and perhaps visualize?
I think it's going to be very different for those that haven't necessarily experienced this before, but I think a lot of these ladies have at least shot in junior World Championships and Asian Games and all these things, so ideally they're used to it and it's not going to impact them that much, but I think it absolutely could creep in at times.
So I think in the past when I've spoken to older athletes, when there wasn't so much of a show around the events, there wasn't even finals, you know, for the events once upon a time, but now really the music and the announcing and the TV cameras is all part and parcel of a final. So do you think about that yourself when you're training? Do you try and replicate a final environment, even just playing music?
Yes, we with the team that I'm on, we try to recreate as much as we can. We don't necessarily have cameras, but we'll do intensity things, record days, and we'll play music. If somebody sits down in a final, we'll like scream at the people who are still up and cheer them on to kind of get the excitement up, because it might not. It's very hard to replicate a scenario like this with, you know, hundreds of people in the crowd, all the cameras, and so we try our best with the ways that we have.
Well, Jared, we have just over a minute before the first series of 5 in the standing gets underway, so it's decision time again, Jared. Are you staying here with me, or are you going back to Martina? What's happening?
I'll go back to Martina. I'll sit down. I'll help announce the final. It'll be fun.
Okay, next time you're announcing with me, all right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Jared. See you later.
Thank you.
Jamie, stop snatching my guests. Come on. Thank you so much. Jared's going to be back in a second. And while he's coming back, we have the stats from Misaki Nobata. I think it did get a little bit better when it comes to this last part of the prone position. But overall, it's been quite a challenge for Misaki Nobata, especially now that the difference is pretty high for her to try and overcome when it comes to standings. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jared, at this point for Misaki Nobata?
I think it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, 3 points is a lot, but you know, it's 3.3 to 6th place for a chance of survival. But it really just depends on the rest of the competition, right? Like, if she's hammering and she does really well, there's absolutely almost expected that somebody's going to be throwing some wide ones. It just depends on who and how far away they are from her.
I feel like the good thing for everybody right now in the ranking that we are seeing is the fact that they do still have 2 whole series of 5. Mm-hmm. So we're not going immediately into single shots, because that would be definitely a done deal for Misaki Nobata. Even Shauna McIntosh is not in a good situation over here, Wang Sufei as well. But that can all change in the next 2 series of 5. So we really cannot come to any kind of conclusion just yet. I feel like it's up for grabs for mostly the first, I would even say 5 or 6 athletes at this point. The only one who is kind of really, really behind is Misaki Nobata.
Yes.
So we're going to take a look at her in the standing position a bit more. Starting out with
already
a
got some wide ones.
This is not a very good start, but we do see an 8.3.
10.8 from Yaki.
Also, what a start from this 17-year-old. I mean,
she wants it.
She really, really wants it. She did win a silver medal at the Munich World Cup this year, so she knows how to get to the podium. It's not something that she needs to learn right now here at the World Championship Finals. So that might be helpful. 10.1 from McIntosh. Let's see her next shot.
We're looking at 4 points to make up from Nobata of Japan now.
A little bit to the right over here, Im has hit that 8.3, and we haven't seen her hit anything else. Okay, back into a 10.2. That's a good way to recover, I guess. I mean, it's not a 10.9, but you at least want to hit a 10 after such a bad shot.
Yes.
I'm sure that her heart rate changed after that bad shot.
Yeah. And another great shot from Yaki, Emily, 10.6 after a 10.8, and her sister is now hammering.
Absolutely. I feel like all of the ladies, most of the ladies are shooting a bit to the right at this point. What do you figure that could be?
It's just probably going to be nerves, you know, with this being an indoor final, there's no wind.
Yep.
And so it could be balance, it could be nerves, which is completely understandable.
Is there a regular thing that ends up having the shots being on the right side, like a trigger pull, or?
Again, it's hard to diagnose. It could be so many things.
It could be so many things, but it's definitely not the wind, okay?
No, definitely not the wind.
That we know. Wang Suwei had 10.2 over here. Im is really, really struggling. She is plummeting down, even giving an opportunity, I feel like, to Misaki Nobata at this point. But they're both not in a very good position, and it's not looking great for them in this first series of 5 in the standing position. Vivian Yaki wrapping up with a 10.2. Wang Suwei as well.
Yeah, if you can gain ground in standing, you're in a good spot.
Nice. McIntosh hits a 10.6. She is in the 5th position right now. She is right behind O, who was leading for a very long time in this final, but now Dustad is in the lead, and the two sisters are following Emily and Vivian Yaki. Oh,
Emily slowed down a little bit.
Emily just hit a 9.3. But when it comes to these kind of shots, I feel like every finalist are going to have at least one of those in the standings, so you can kind of forgive yourself and move on from one of those.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, she was in first, now in second. You know, it's hard to manage those thoughts. And then her sister's right behind her, too, 1.4 away.
Oh, so he...
Excellent series from Dustad.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, he and McIntosh are...
And McIntosh.
Tied over here now. 0.7 behind Yaki. And then there's the same difference between Dustad at the top, Emily Yaki, and then her sister Vivian Yaki over there. Those are some great differences.
Yes, it's a little bit comforting. You know, you've got 10 shots left and a 1.4 lead. You know, if you can extend that or keep that around a point, it's comforting going into those last shots.
And when it comes to Dustad, we have not yet seen her at the top of the podium of a World Championship, which is kind of surprising knowing what kind of an athlete she is when it comes to 50-meter 3P. So I'm sure she is coming with a little bit of that baggage in a way of like having the pressure to do it, but also having the skill to do it. So it must be a little bit of a battle inside, the thing that we don't get to see from the outside here.
Right.
Here she is now. She looks pretty calm though. I mean, she's
doing the right things for sure. She's settling, she's relaxed, she's working on taking good shots.
She's been in this situation more than once, and you can tell.
This year alone, she's had extremely good performances.
Yeah, anytime there's a 50-meter 3P competition. Oh,
10.9
nice.
for McIntosh.
10.9. That's the one I wanted to see in the standing position, finally. And we get it from the one who's been away. I think she started training a month before the World Championship. So really not getting into the 10-meter final was really not that big of a deal. I think she was even 13th, so she wasn't that far off.
Right.
But now she got into this one, and look at her. She took on the 3rd position now with that 10.9.
And a 10.8 to follow it up.
Wow.
Extremely impressive.
It's actually inspirational, showing that, you know, you need to take a break. You don't want to burn out, and I kind of feel like that is her message overall from her journey. But I'm not going to talk her up too much. Let's go to Dustad. She hit a 10.4 now after hitting a 9 over there. She is still at the top of the lead, followed by Emily Yaki, the 17-year-old, youngest of the crowd over here. She just hit a 10.7. And I have to say, looking at the results right now, it doesn't even look like they're shooting standing. It looks like they're shooting kneeling at least.
Yes, they're shooting very, very well. Dustad with another great shot, 10.7, extending her lead. McIntosh
a little bit wider.
That's okay.
Im hit a 10.1. And now, ouch, out into a 9.5. She was very quick to put that rifle back on the stand over there.
Looks like 7th and 8th are pretty decided at this point.
McIntosh back into
Another,
a 10.8.
wow,
What is happening with
amazing.
this standing
Incredible.
series with her? I think she's going to have, if she continues this way, even with that 9, it might be one of the highest rounds.
Yes.
From anyone in the standing position.
Well, her last one was excellent too, 51.8. She led that one.
Yeah.
She is on pace to lead this one too.
Absolutely. Okay, so Misaki Nobata and Im Hana are kind of in danger zone at this point. We're getting very, very close to that first decision. Actually, the first 2 decisions. McIntosh wrapped up with a 9.5. It wasn't easy. Probably a lot of pressure from the good shots. Especially in standing, you want to be as good as you can. 10.7 from Dustad for the wrap-up.
Yep. Extending her lead. But Emily Yaki having a very good series.
Out into a 9.7, though, right at the very end.
Yeah.
That's the commentator's curse. Whenever you mention somebody, it just happens. It's almost like they can hear you.
McIntosh tying for the high series again. Doing very well. Oh, I stand corrected. Sehi with a 52.3.
Oh, 52.3 landed her in the 3rd position. And I can hear Jamie announcing our 8th position at the ISSF World Championship for Rifle and Pistol in Cairo, Egypt, 2025. It's Misaki Nobata. We did kind of see that coming. It was looking as if that might happen throughout even the prone position already.
She struggled in everything, unfortunately.
And the 7th place for Korea, for Im Hana, a 25-year-old world champion back 7 years ago. She was the Asian champion in non-Olympic event, 50-meter prone position this year in Shymkent. So we did expect her to have a good prone position, but overall ended up in the 7th position, leaving these 6 ladies and only single shots left. Now, the hands are sweating, I am sure. Things are definitely changing. The atmosphere is changing. The athletes are hearing a lot more of Jamie's voice that I'm sure that some of them are already dreaming, and some good or nightmarish dreams at this point. So
the crowd's getting louder.
The crowd is getting louder. The music's getting louder. Decision for the 6th place. And in less than 50 seconds time, we will find that out. So
single shots now.
Time just goes on. It doesn't ask any questions, and you really need to be able to stay in that focus throughout the whole final. Wang Sufei
on the bubble.
She has,
McIntosh with another 10.8.
once again. She is shooting either bullseyes or nines all around, a little bit wider shots. That's a big difference, though. That's a big difference of 2 points, and deservingly so for the ladies that are staying in the finals. I am sure Wang Xufei will be back in the 50-meter 3P, but right now the 10-meter is her game. But I'm excited to see more of her in the 50-meter coming up later on in her career. But the 6th place at the ISSF World Championship in Cairo 2025 now goes to Wang Xufei of China.
Still so impressive.
18-year-old. I mean, only 18.
So
Come
young.
on. So young. So awarded in the 10-meter events already. And
here she is.
This was a good try.
6th at a World Championship.
This was a very, very good try for her in the 50-meter. I'm sure she's going to bring a lot of lessons from what just happened here today. Okay, next up in danger zone, we have Vivian Yaki
1.3 behind.
Shauna McIntosh.
It's possible. Unless McIntosh is another 10.8.
It's a little bit of a difference between the two. Now, that's a lot of pressure on McIntosh as well. 10.3 from
Vivian,
both of the ladies.
Oh.
That will not change a thing. Ow!
8.7 seconds. Oh, that drops her into 5th by 0.1.
That's the standings for you. That's the standing position at the 50-meter 3 position event. You can never know. It's a really, really tricky one, and this does hurt, I am sure. Representing Korea, unfortunately. So Korea had 2 athletes in this final and ended up with no medal this time, at least. Oh Se-hee, the 19-year-old. This was her first time at a senior category final at the World Championship. So really, it's a big accomplishment either way for her.
Yes, Vivian lives to see another shot.
She does, and only by 0.1. So you can kind of say that a little bit of luck was involved for her here.
For sure.
Okay, so the 2 sisters remain in their own rivalry.
Very impressive.
At the top of the world currently here at the World Championship. We're getting closer and closer. There's only 3 more shots to go to end up with the world champion.
At this point, you just want a 10.
Oh, absolutely. Big differences between the ladies, though. A lot of pressure on Shauna McIntosh at this point, I think. She's been gone for a year. I'm sure she wants this medal. It's a big difference, 1.3, but not something to be... Oh!
Wow. Amazing.
That's
there also
just
might not be a lot
amazing.
of pressure. You know, she's been shooting for a month.
Yeah, actually. But also, maybe she works well under pressure.
True.
That is something that happens with the ladies that end up in the finals, the athletes that end up in the finals, I'm sure. Now, this was a big decision, and I'm sure, and she does look a little bit down after this, coming all this way, only to end up on the 4th place, and, I mean, losing to her little sister at this point. I mean, we have to add that as well. Vivian Yaki, the 19-year-old, she's won everything you can win in the junior events, now in the senior, and she is not, mind you, still a full senior. So she still has time to kind of adapt to it. 4th place, I think it doesn't sting as much as losing to her sister. I'm kidding, I don't know. Maybe it's completely okay. I'm sure she's going to be happy for her 17-year-old sister, Emily Yaki, who is definitely going to be on the podium today. And again, I just want to mention Shauna McIntosh and that big kind of inspiration where she took a break and she is definitely back stronger than ever. She is on the medal podium.
She's had a fantastic standing series.
She has.
She's up like 4.4, 4.1 in standing. Very impressive.
This is going to be Shauna McIntosh's first time on the podium, I think, in the Olympic events. It's time to decide the bronze medal. 10.4. She is still holding on. It's up to Emily Yaki.
Needs a... Oh,
10.3. She's staying in the game. She was able to hold that pressure.
Very, very nice shooting from our ladies. Nothing lower than a 10.2. There's no ground to give here.
And the bronze medal at the ISSF World Championship here in Cairo, Egypt 2025. Her first World Championship Olympic event medal, a bronze medal for Shauna McIntosh. She ended up not being in the 10-meter event, but for good reason. It's a bronze medal for Great Britain. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the first medal for Great Britain at this competition. Yes, right at the very end of the competition, at least when it comes to Olympic events, Shauna McIntosh made it to the podium.
Here we go, 1.4 difference.
Here we go. The very big decision, the decision for the world champion in the 50-meter 3-position women's event here at the ISSF World Championship in Cairo, Egypt. It's between the big name in the game, Jeanette Hegdustad, and the youngest of the 8 finalists who were here, the 17-year-old Emily Yaki. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
Let's see how these ladies respond.
9.4, Jeanette is under
she needs
pressure.
a 10.9. Okay.
10.3 is not gonna make it, and that's gonna be a half a point of a difference and a first time for Jeanette Hegdustad. I feel like she also feels that it was kind of time to come to the top of the podium. She did win many times a 300-meter rifle, 3-position and prone position competitions, but here she is now, the world champion of 2025.
Excellent.
Jeanette Hegdustad will be at the top of the podium.
She's dominated all this competition.
She did everything she could in this season as well, and the season before that. And finally, she has found herself at the top of, we can now say it, the strongest competition of the season for sure. And overall, it's a very, very difficult one to end up on the top. Here she is, finally. Jeanette Hegdustad wins a gold medal for Norway and puts Norway on the map, on the medal standings as well. Emily Yaki did a very big job here. She equaled the world record for the junior competition because, yeah, she is a junior.
Yes.
This 17-year-old won a silver medal here at the ISSF World Championship
17
in Cairo, Egypt 2025. I mean, this was an amazing final, I have to say. I really, really enjoyed this final.
It's very exciting, and we were expecting it to be.
Absolutely, from the get-go, with a lot of story behind the athletes. It's not, they were coming in with more than just the results and the finals. We have Shauna McIntosh, who was taking a little bit of a break before that. We have Jeanette Hegdustad, the most awarded one in the 50-meter 3-position. And we have Emily Yaki, who was the youngest one, also shooting against her sister, her older sister, in the final. So the storyline here for this final was just incredible. And I hope you all at home watching loved this finals as well. We are wrapping up rifle competitions when it comes to Olympic events here at the ISSF World Championship. Thank you so much for watching. I mean, this was one of the most incredible ones. We are always live on the ISSF YouTube channel and Facebook page and the Olympic Channel website. If you missed any of the finals, you can go back, but we still do have one more final to go in 2 days. It's the 25-meter pistol women's event, and that's going to be a wrap-up on the Olympic events. But right now, don't go anywhere yet. Jamie